Welcome back to the channel. My name is Conor McMillen. I'm an IFS-trained life coach. If this is your first time here, I recommend subscribing. We've got 2 videos coming out per month. Right now, we might increase that at some point, all on educating you how to use IFS and other therapeutic modalities to increase your self-awareness, your self-growth, and indeed your self-healing. So in today's video, we're going to talk about dropping in. We're going to talk about what that is and how you can do it for yourself. So what is dropping in? Dropping in is a term used in the internal family systems model. It might be used in other places, I'm not sure. But it's basically a state of kind of meditation that has some action to it. I mean, there's lots of ways to meditate, but I think the most common that we think of in meditation is you close your eyes and you breathe and you let things come in and go out and come in and go out. I think of dropping in as similar, but we're allowing things to come in and then we're pausing and we're looking at those things. So that's how I refer to dropping in. So a drop-in generally is going to be done with an IFS practitioner holding space for you to drop in. And they're going to have you close your eyes and they might guide you through a short meditation to help deepen relaxation. And then they're going to start asking you some questions. And the most common question we ask in IFS is, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Or some variation of that. So you can do the same thing on your own. And this is how I would recommend doing it. So step 1 is going to be finding a safe, quiet, comfortable space. For me, I like laying down in my bed with my eyes closed. I like putting a little eye cover over my eyes. I like knowing that no one else is in the house. For me, that's just really nice to know there's no energy around me whatsoever. I do know some people that when they lay down and they start to meditate, they very quickly fall asleep. I want to say very quickly that that could be an indication that there is a part there. And we might get into that in a different video, but it might just be an indication that you're kind of tired or you feel really cozy and you just naturally fall asleep that way. So if that happens to be you, then I recommend sitting up, sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged in bed, whatever's going to be sustainable and comfortable and relaxing, but not push you into sleep. Step 2 is beginning to focus on your breath. Just like a normal meditation you might have done in the past. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. I like breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. When I lead drop-ins with people, I tend to direct 3 breaths, and we can do it right here, right now. So breathe in nice and slow through the nose. And exhale nice and slow through the mouth. Same thing, a little bit slower, in through the nose. Nice exhale through the mouth. Last one is a little bit different. Nice slow inhale. This time I want you to fill up your lungs, so breathing in as much air as you can. When you get to the top of the breath, hold it in the lungs and then drop it into the belly for 1, 2, and with control, exhale through the mouth. And on this exhale, you want to exhale all the breath that you can. And then breathe normally. Great. So if you like that, you can implement that at the beginning of your drop-in. And then you'll implement it again when you come out of your drop-in. And I like using that technique. I don't know if other people use that technique. That might just be my own thing. But I like that as a signifier that, hey, we're about to drop in. Oh, hey, we're about to transition out of a drop-in. So it tells the system a change is coming. And I really like using that, especially if you do drop-ins on a regular basis. Your system will start to understand just by that little 3-part breath, something is going to change. So once your breathing has come back to normal, just breathing in a way that feels good for you, you can continue to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can use just nose breath or mouth breath. It doesn't really matter. Whatever's going to just help you stay in a relaxed state, focusing on the breath. And then what I like to do is look at 3 different things. So you'll start with looking at your body, and you'll just be like, oh, how does my body feel? And you're just looking at your body. You can go head, knee, thigh, stomach, chest, arms, neck, head, back, whatever, whatever makes sense to you. This part doesn't have to be super regimented, but you're essentially just looking to see, how does my physical body feel? And then you're going to choose one area of your body that could maybe use some additional relaxation. So for me, that's oftentimes my neck. So I'm going to look at my neck. I'm going to notice that, okay, there's a little tenseness there, and it could use a little relaxation. So my next inhale, I'm going to use that breath to offer relaxation to my neck. I'm going to say, I'm going to breathe into my neck. I'm offering you relaxation. And breathing out and letting myself relax. Now keep in mind, this is an offering. So you're not forcing your parts to relax, your physical parts. You're making an offering, and your neck or whatever body part, it can choose to relax, or it can become more tense, or it can just stay in the same state. The point is that you're not trying to force anything to happen. You're just offering relaxation. Once you're complete with that, you can move on to your thoughts. So you're noticing your thoughts. What's happening? Are you thinking about the past? Are you thinking about the future? So you're just noticing your thoughts for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just noticing what's there. You're just observing without needing anything to change. Then you're going to breathe relaxation into your thoughts. If you like to think about it in your head, you can breathe relaxation into your head as an offering. And then allow yourself to relax more deeply. Whatever has happened with your thoughts, they've changed, they've stayed the same, just let it be, and move on to your emotional world. And then you're beginning to tune into your emotions. What emotions do I feel right now? And you're just noticing different emotions. Again, obviously, I feel my emotions in here, but it might be different for you. So you're just noticing your emotions. 1-2 minutes, and you might choose one emotion, or you might choose your emotional body as a whole to offer that relaxation to again. So you're breathing in relaxation as an offering, and as you breathe out, you're allowing yourself to relax. So once you've kind of gone through that 3-part observation and offering of relaxation, you can just notice how you feel, and you can ask yourself the question, how do I feel right now? How do I feel right now? Sometimes it's very clear. A part will come in and say, I feel this way. And it's very clear, okay, that's a part. How do I feel towards the part? If I'm feeling relaxation and calm and curious, if I'm feeling self-energy, then I want to engage with the part and maybe ask some questions and learn more about this part in order to develop more compassion, which I can then send to that part. And sometimes nothing happens. And guess what? That's okay. The point of practicing IFS is that you're practicing. And a big theme in IFS that I love is that there is no outcome that we're looking for in order to say, good job, I did it. It's all in the practice, and it's all in being with ourselves exactly where we are and being open to learning about ourselves. And sometimes learning about ourselves means seemingly nothing's happening. So if nothing happens, just be with that and be curious about that. And the more you can be curious, the more you're activating self-energy. And that's part of the point of dropping in, is to be able to activate self-energy and to be able to look for other parts that may need some extra care or may need to be seen, may need to share their story, and certainly may need to feel your compassion and understanding for them. So the next step in this process, after you've asked that question, whatever the response is, you want to be generating more of this self-led energy. Calm, curious, compassionate. There are some other C's in there, and you can watch our video on that if you want the full list. But I think those three are really easy to remember. Calm, curious, compassionate. So am I feeling calm, curious, and compassionate? If I am, great. I know that I'm in self, and I can begin to grow that feeling and generate that feeling and even ask questions from that place to the rest of my system. If I'm feeling calm, curious, compassionate, and urgent, then I know that there's an urgency part here. And that's the part that I want to slowly kind of take out and like hold and be like, hey, I feel some urgency. I think I notice that there's this urgent part here. I'm really curious about that. What's going on? Can you tell me more about this urgent feeling? So any way that you can start a dialogue with yourself from, as best you can, a place of self is a fantastic step in the dropping in process. Now keep in mind, a drop-in can go an infinite number of places. What I recommend that you do in the beginning when you start this practice of dropping in, I recommend that you set up a certain amount of time for yourself, say 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you have that amount of time to spare and to dedicate towards this work. And you let your system know, I'm going to be in this state for 1 hour or 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to do my best to stay in a state of self, and I'm going to very gently begin to explore my system with, as best as I can, no expectations. I'm just here observing and developing greater self-awareness. So given that there is an infinite number of ways a drop-in session can go, it would be impossible for me to direct you on all of the possibilities. But what my hope is in this video is to give you enough direction that you can begin to connect with yourself in maybe a different way than you ever have, provide a space for your parts to feel safe coming forward to present themselves, and beginning a conversation of deepening connection. That's the point, is just to deepen connection with these parts, ideally from that place of self, calm, curious, and compassionate. The next step in the dropping in process, as you kind of are getting close to the closing window and you're considering transitioning, your alarm is going to go off, you have other things to do, is to thank yourself and to thank the parts that showed up. And you want that to be as authentic as it can be. So you want to feel that gratitude for the space that you created, the time that you took to do this work. And you also want to send that gratitude to the parts that had possibly the courage to show up and to share with you in this process. So you want to thank your system, thank your parts. You want to let that gratitude kind of radiate throughout your whole body as best as possible. And one thing that I like to do in drop-ins is maybe make a very gentle commitment to return to the drop-in. And you don't have to say, I'm going to do this tomorrow at 7 a.m. That might be a little too specific. I want you to be able to stick to the commitments, especially the commitments you make to yourself and to your parts. So setting up a very gentle commitment, like, hey, thank you all so much for being here in this work. I'd really like to do this again, and I'm going to gently commit to doing this again at some point in the next week. And even if you take 5 minutes at some point in the next week, you have satisfied that commitment. So I like to make that little commitment and set myself up for success the next time I take the time to do a drop-in. And finally, closing out. The way that I like to do it is with that breath work that we did on the way in. It would be in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, hold, drop into belly, hold it for 2 seconds, release through the mouth. And those breaths are nice and slow. If this is your first time hearing about a drop-in and it's the first time that you might experiment with a drop-in, what I would really love for you is to share in the comments below and let us know how it went for you. Did anything happen? Did nothing happen? Were you able to access self? Did it feel good? Did it feel confusing? What happened? I think we're all incredibly diverse, and that's what makes human beings so beautiful. And we also have a lot of similarities, and it can be really helpful to hear each other's experiences in this work. So please take the time, and it would be a gift and a contribution, and I would really appreciate it. If you like this video, obviously like it. You can subscribe to the channel. I want this work to be seen by as many people as possible because I want to make a positive impact. And if you feel like sharing this video with your mom, your best friend on Facebook, please go ahead and do it. In addition to the videos we provide here, we also have our website, internalfamilysystems.org, that we are expanding all the time. So head on over there, sign up for the newsletter, get yourself a free guided meditation, and check out the programs that we offer there as well. For the price of about one IFS session with a therapist, you can learn how to do more of this work on yourself at home in a safe and sustainable way. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you on the next one.